Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we'll talk about Scratch Editor and explore Scratch coding environment. I will explain simply how to navigate through Scratch Editor and what different tools can do. The Scratch Editor is all about building games by dragging and dropping blocks. It might seem a lot at first, but I will explain all the parts so you will see how easy it is. So let's get started. To access the Scratch Editor from the Scratch homepage, simply click the Create button in the top left-hand corner. This will open the Scratch Editor on the left side of the screen and display a blank project on the right side of the screen. The blank project page will have an orange cat character on a white background. We will call this blank project page the stage. The characters in your game are called sprites. The most famous Scratch sprite is the orange cat. When you start a new game, the only sprite on the stage is the orange cat below the stage. You will see the sprite pane. You'll notice the orange cat appears in the sprite pane with the name Sprite1 by default. If you look above the sprite pane, you will see information about the sprite, including its name, location, visibility, size, and direction. You can add more sprites to your game by adding them to the sprite pane. Find the blue button that has a white cat's head with the plus symbol next to it. This is the Choose a Sprite button. Place your mouse pointer on the Choose a Sprite button. A green label will pop up if you don't click it. To view the sprite library, click on the Choose a Sprite button. There are hundreds of sprites in the library. While you are in the library, you can also quickly find you want by using the search bar in the top left corner. And guess what else? If you don't find the sprite in the library, you can always decide to draw your own. We'll talk about it in the future. The blank space in the center of the Scratch Editor is known as the code area. This is where you will drag and drop the code blocks to build your video game. Do you see those blue rectangular looking code blocks on the left side of the screen? When you attach those blocks of the code together, they are called scripts. We call them scripts because they work just like a movie or play scripts. In movies, the actors read their scripts and follow the direction. In video game programming, the sprites follow instruction of the coding scripts. Try dragging a code block from the left side block palette to the code area. Use the scroll bar on the right-hand side of the block palette to scroll down and see more code blocks. Pick a code block or two. I picked the yellow when the green flag is clicked block and the blue move 10 steps block. Click and hold with your mouse button. Drag the code block into the code area and release the mouse button. To delete or remove a code block from the code area, simply drag the code block back to the left side of the screen. You can also delete a code block by right-clicking with the mouse. This will pop open a menu to reveal the delete block option. Each sprite in your game has its very own script, so you can only see the code area for the sprite that is currently selected. You can toggle the code area clicking on a different sprite in the sprite pane. Remember, you need to code scripts for every sprite individually. Most importantly, the stage is what the player will see when the
play your video game. At the top of the stage is the green flag icon. You will use this to start games. Next to green flag is the red stop sign icon. You can click this to end a game. When you add a new sprite to your game, it will appear at exactly center of the stage. When you move a sprite on the stage, the X sprite and Y positions change. If you move the sprite left, starting from the center, the X position will get smaller until it gets negative 240. If you move to the right, it will get larger until it reaches 240. If you move the sprite up or down, the Y position will change. If the sprite moves up from the center, the Y position will increase up to 108. If the sprite moves down from the center, the Y position will decrease all the way down to negative 180. The top right corner of the stage is X equals 240, Y equals 180.
If this is your first time using Scratch 3, you may be a little distracted by all the colorful categories on the far left-hand side of the screen. These block categories organize the code blocks that are used to build scripts. Each code block performs a specific task or function, and you will need to become familiar with the location of each block. There are a lot of different code blocks in Scratch. First, we are going to focus on the most important code blocks in this lecture. You won't have to learn them all just yet. Second, all the code blocks are color-coded, which makes them easier to identify and understand. Let's take a quick look at the basic code blocks you will need to jumpstart your Scratch coding skills. Motion blue color. Motion blocks are the action steps of a video game. You can make the sprite turn, move, glide, or go to random position. Looks, purple color. Looks block. Change a sprite appearance. You can make it do things like change size, height, show. Change costumes and change color through lots of wild color effects. Sound, pink color. Sound blocks allow sprites to play music and make sound effects, and you can even record your own sounds. Event, yellow color. Event blocks control when a script will run. All the code blocks require an event block attached at the beginning. They are like the green starting flag in a race. In fact, there is a green starting flag event block. Control, orange color. Control blocks are shaped like the letter C because they wrap around other blocks. After being wrapped by a control block, the contained code will only run according to rules of the control block. For example, forever blocks will repeat all of the code placed inside of them over and over again. If then blocks will only run code if the certain conditions are true, such as if the cat touches the mouse. Variables, dark orange. Variables blocks allow you to create places to store lives, points, and other meaningful values in a game. You can create a variable with any name and then give it a value. For example, I can make a variable to say score in the game. There are other coding blocks as well, such as operators, sensing, and we can make our own blocks. So this is all for this video. In this video we learned about main parts of the Scratch editor. So I think this video was helpful for you. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.